Since Europe is facing a major economic and political crisis, we were thinking about how Argentina went through bankruptcy in 2001. We'd like to learn from the Argentinian experience to be better prepared for what's happening in Europe. That's the introduction.
I was 18 years old when the crisis was here, and I was just finishing high school and entering the university, and I was living with my parents in el norte, in Florida. That's not the capital, it's farther out in the north. And I remember that to me it was like the consequences I got were light.
2001 is very marked with the political situation. My memories, I think, they are mostly linked they are mostly linked to that situation.
We were having dinner with friends in a restaurant, and when we started the dinner, we had a president, and when the dinner ended, there was
another
president.
Cuando escuchamos eso, todos, incluidos mi jefe, decidimos salir a la calle en protesta y para acompañar a todos. Recuerdo estar en Plaza de Mayo y ver gente de todo tipo, familias, ancianos, gente de oficina, gente que en general no se ve en una protesta, y estaban todos ahí, todos diciendo lo mismo, y era muy intensa la situación.
Meine Familie hat mich angerufen und sie haben gesagt, weißt du, wir lieben dich so sehr, aber hier ist alles so Chaos, ist besser, wenn du in der Schweiz bleibst und so. Und so bin ich geblieben.
Am nächsten Tag sind dann alle Leute, wirklich alle Leute, zu den Banken gerannt, die dann natürlich um 10 Uhr kollabiert sind und schließen mussten, weil natürlich keiner so viel Geld hatte, wie die ganze Bevölkerung ihr Geld zurückforderte. Also alle sind hingegangen und wollten ihr Vermögen, ihre Girokonto, ihre Sparbücher mal eben abholen. Man hatte das ja immer auf dem Papier, was man so besaß. Und das war ja überhaupt nicht vorhanden, das Geld. Ist ja nur Buchgeld, war nicht da.
At that year we were planning the viaje de egresados. It's like a trip you make when you finish school. Very traditional in Argentina. Everyone makes it like viaje de egresados. You go with all your class somewhere. All the people usually go to Bariloche, and they snow and they go to parties. And when we were having the reunions with my companions of school, a lot of them were very like, no, I can't go to a viaje de egresados, like very worried and very traumatized because their parents were having a very hard time with the crisis. Everyone was very worried. Everyone was bad. It was like on the string.
My father lost a lot of money, and I remember that he had almost a heart attack. It was a disaster that summer. It was in December, and I remember that Christmas, it was so sad.
I remember I thought everything was going to disappear. Like I had the feeling that our nation, our country was going to disappear, like the earthquake in Haiti. I mean, that we were going to be erased from the face of the civilized world in a way. So suddenly from one day to the other, it was hard to find very simple things like paper for the printer.
I have, for example, my first panic attack. You are not prepared to see your family doing. For example, in my town, my parents also rent our house for tourists. They are coming to the town, so it's not easy.
The main cut on the budget, it was on the production. So if we want to work with a photographer or with an illustrator, it was very expensive, but we didn't have the money for that. But what we did is like we start to do our own things. So it's like we learned new skills. Like I started drawing more than I used to do, and I started to do drawings for for a print, and I started to think, okay, this is my these are my options, which are quite just a few. So I start to do my own thing. I start to learn new skill, like take pictures, do drawings, collage, and we start to resolve the work with our own knowledge, and that was very good.
Yo creo que si no hubiese pasado eso, hoy yo no estaría donde estoy. Tal vez hoy sería una relacionista pública o estaría trabajando en un ministerio y no.
I changed like 100%. All of me and my friends, we had like a radical change after it. Like we were, I mean, not assholes, but we were just going behind the line, you know, just, okay, where should we go? There, okay, let's go there. But the crisis just knocked punch our faces, but really like super hard. And now, I mean, I can say like thanks for that, because it's like we changed a lot, and I think we changed in a good way. But for a lot of people, it was really hard, really hard. Of course, and I know some. I mean, 40% of my friends, they went out. No money, nothing. They just went to another culture, another country, just cleaning toilets in Spain.
If you are thinking every day about the crisis or the banks or the thieves that they are stealing your money, perhaps you don't find a way to do something new.
The people was in kind of this paradise of neoliberalism, and everybody was in kind of party time. So it was more naive, because all time you try to push the art scene or young people from art to be involved in kind of social stuff. Nobody was thinking this will happen. So that was the change, I think, after the 19 and 20 of December 2001, and I think the months after and years after, the people start to realize they have to change their position, like their comfortable position, and to be involved.
Fuck off copyright, fuck off Nike. People want Nike, I will make millions of Nikes, I will give them the Nikes and they will feel free. They will feel happy for 20 minutes. Maybe yes, maybe not, I don't know, but this is very tricky, because during the time of the crisis people start to make that falsification of everything, you know, just to keep inside the world. Because the idea of crisis here was we will be out of the world.
Before the crisis we trust a lot in the dollar and in the United States and all the capitalist system, and I think after the crisis we like that is not the we kind of, well, maybe after the crisis we realized that before the crisis we was just looking outside and see and all the people say, oh, our country is a shit, we have to go to Disney, we have to go to the United States. And after the crisis, like, again we saw, hey, wait, our country is okay, we don't have to be in the first world, we don't have to go to Miami or nothing. I think that was a change.
El 22 de diciembre, 3 días después del 19, del comienzo de toda esta historia, yo estaba viajando a Europa por primera vez. Por placer, había ahorrado dinero y estaba viajando y estaba muy contenta, y bueno, decidí irme igual, aunque no tenía en ese momento efectivo para moverme ahí, porque mi dinero había quedado en el banco.
No quería irme del país, no quería quedarme acá y hacer frente a todo. Fue fuerte porque pensábamos que no había dinero para nada, o sea, me acuerdo que no había publicidades en la calle, o sea, publicity in the streets, no había, tipo, era como tan fuerte todo, como que decía.
I feel Argentine, very Argentine, so I'm very proud of. For example, now when things are expensive or it's hard because it's hard to get clients or work, or let's say, we live day a day, I spend today what I have and tomorrow I'll see.
In that time, I used to work designing Ramona, the art visuals magazine, and the agenda of that summer, it was the most big agenda ever in the history of the magazine. There, every day there was, I don't know, openings, screenings, concerts, like spontaneous activities in the city.
Buenos Aires hat sich im ersten Jahr auch visuell total verändert. Mittlerweile kennt das auch jeder Tourist. Es gibt halt, die haben natürlich keine Mülltrennung in Argentinien. Man schmeißt, also wie wir sehen hier diese Müllberge. In Argentinien würden wir die jetzt alle auf die Straße schmeißen. Und dann dann hat sich dann ganz schnell in dieser Krise, die Ärmsten hat es natürlich am härtesten getroffen, die hatten ja nichts zum Tauschen, also die waren natürlich richtig scheiße dran, aber auch die sind völlig kreativ. Die fing dann erst im Jahre 2001, fing das an, dass Argentinier auf die Straße gehen und den Müll durchwühlen. Das gab es vorher nicht, also zumindest nicht in dem Ausmaße. Und dann haben die sich auch unglaublich schnell organisiert. Eigentlich hat ja jedes Haus nur sein Hausmüll vor der Straße. Dann fingen diese sogenannten Cartoneros, kommt von Karton her, Kartonsammler, die fingen an, diesen Hausmüll erstmal zu horten, zusammenzustellen. Meinetwegen in einem von 3 Straßenzügen wird jetzt alles erstmal da gesammelt und dann fingen die an, diesen Hausmüll akribisch auseinander zu recyceln, wie wir das hier kennen. Ne? Das haben die dann gemacht. Also Karton, Papier wurde gesammelt, Flaschen wurde gesammelt, Plastik, Metallstäbe, was man in Afrika in den ganzen Müllbergen macht, das machen die dann da auf der Straße. Alles auseinander und dann haben die ganz schnell organisiert. Die kamen dann wirklich mit Pferdedroschken an, wie man das aus dem Mittelalter vielleicht kennt, also so kaputte Wagen mit so Gäulen davor, die auch irgendwie eher vom Hunger befallen aussahen. Und damit haben die dann ihr total organisierten Müll haben die damit weggebracht. Und zwar zurück in die Slums und dort wird das dann aufgekauft. Wieder von Großhändlern für Müll. Das ging auch, also in Wochen haben die das vollkommen organisiert und diesen Geschäftszweig der Cartoneros gibt es bis heute.
Yo estaba en otro planeta. Yo no tengo recuerdos más allá de esa sensación de apocalipsis, no fue como algo que me hizo a mí activar cosas nuevas o cosas diferentes.
I don't remember seeing it, feeling it very strongly, like religious got really part of my life because I think it's because of my personal experience because my sister then became a nun, so that was like the thing that I register as like the big religious.
Your sister became a nun?
My sister became a nun.
Why does your sister become a nun? Because of the crisis?
No, because she's 2 years younger than me. She was very guilty and she was very disruptive by that situation of having a lot and at the same time being with people and trying to help other people that didn't have anything or that were living in very bad conditions.
I was like a spectator of something that actually I was waiting to happen for the last 3 or 4 years. And I mean, through the whole government of Menem, before the La Rúa, it was this weird, very weird economic reality in which 1 peso was equal to $1. And that was, to me, was always like the fantasy that sooner or later had to come to an end.
At that point I thought that professions, I mean art is not really fully a profession in Argentina yet, it's very fragile in a way, but I could feel at that moment that art professions like ours, art, design, intellectual tasks were about to disappear. I had that feeling for a little while.
We were super happy about that situation. It was terrible because was people dying. Was terrible in a way. It was a totally dramatic situation. But in other hand, for us was the only possibility we found and to change a social condition of people who was totally forgot for the state and also forgot for middle class.
Ich lebte in einer Garage. Ja, okay. Eine Garage, wo die Autos parken, ist das gut gesagt? Ja, quasi so, wie ein Autostall, kein Pferdestall, sondern ein Autostall und ohne Licht, weil es war eine Freundin hat mir so dieses alles geliehen, ich war so also einzeln gelebt. So, ich glaube, für andere Leute wäre es unerträglich, so zu leben. Aber für mich war okay.
No tengo casa, no tengo trabajo, remuneración mensual, no tengo servicio médico, no tengo jubilación, o sea, nunca he hecho un aporte en la jubilación para mi futuro, no tengo nada.
Tengo que pedir lo más barato porque no me alcanza. Y de pronto todo era feo y de mala calidad. Pero todo en tu vida. Ibas al supermercado y sabías que todo lo que ibas a comer era feo, lo que te ibas a poner en el pelo era feo. No había plata, no teníamos plata.
I have a beca de mi provincia de Chubut para un proyecto y por otro lado cuando me recibí, cuando terminé diseño gráfico, mis padres me regalaron un departamento. So I have a rent. If I don't have that, I don't know what can I do.
Well, I started to work in holidays. That was not so common. I did it, and then and in the next year, I can rent a place, a small one, but it was something, and then another bigger, and another bigger, and it's interesting because it's nice to be so down, and then you enjoy very much when you can live better.
Should I tell you the truth? When I got fired of my job, I just stolen. I stole a 2 mini DV camera, like maybe 10 huge boxes of mini DV tapes, AKG microphone, yeah.
I remember the exchange idea. I do this and I exchange for something that you do, because in that time we didn't have any money. That was the real situation on the bankrupt, that we didn't have money. So we started to exchange things, and there was like exchange clubs in the neighborhoods where the people goes and, well, I have this and you have that. And
no tenía como ese único precepto que era dinero, progreso, ambición. Esas cosas cambiaron en mi vida a partir del 2002, digamos, como que fui más sensible con el dinero.
Crisis is like a refresh your mind, say what's happened here. You lose the idea of representation. In one moment, the people who are the classically in the history, they are the representatives. They became no one. They are just people like you and me, because this situation will affect everyone. And the first symptom of a crisis could be that, the crisis of representation.
Se viene el estallido, and it repeats, se viene el estallido. The estallido is like the big boom, and se viene it's coming. It was...
Big boom is coming.
Yeah.
Something that I like a bit of what's happening and what happened, it's people turn more human. Then the crisis goes by and the people get again like materialistic.
Sí derivó en otras cosas que siguen fortaleciéndose, como por ejemplo, bueno, estas pocas asambleas barriales, fábricas recuperadas, nuevas formas de cultivo, nuevas formas de sociedad, como un poco más solidarias, sí.
Pero puede pasar igual en Europa lo que pasó en Argentina. ¿Qué consejo en ese momento tenés para ellos?
Que inviertan en proyectos, esencialmente. En proyectos que involucren a otras personas.
I just can't talk about my own experience. It's all I have, and I did it like this. But in Europe, I think the big problem like they have there is like you really trust in the state.
Nunca puse mi plata en un banco. Nunca. Siempre en mi casa, tipo abajo del colchón. No confío en los bancos.
Un primer consejo, quizás un poco obvio, sería que nadie compre títulos de deuda pública.
Also erstmal ganz praktisch das ganze Geld von der Bank abheben. Nichts auf der Bank lassen. Höchstens vielleicht so einen kleinen Kredit noch aufnehmen. Das käme auch jetzt gut. Kredite aufnehmen und dann einfach nicht zurückzahlen. Auf jeden Fall, auf gar keinen Fall. Sparbücher, Girokonten, Anlagen, Aktien, alles verkaufen und das Geld erstmal schön zu Hause halten. Die Frage ist natürlich nur jetzt, in welcher Währung. Ne? Das weiß ich leider auch nicht.
Some people say that it's good in business art because you add value to something. You need to create value. So art is a very good way to put value in things that maybe in the future they're gonna cost more than a house, or and you can move your piece of art. You can't move a house from Argentina to Europe, but you can move a painting.
If you have to bring or give some idea, tips, suggestion or advising to someone else, we never can recommend what they did here. I will never do it because this is the recover. Now the capitalism here, maybe another model, as they call, another model. I can understand, but the recomposition of capitalism here is amazing.
Other ways to deal with it and to resolve and to make new things. I think it's very good for creativity. I think it's very interesting in that way.
You don't have to be afraid. It's como confiar en que en ese momento la situación va a resolverse.
It's going to ¿qué va a pasar? ¿Cómo se diría?
Go away
Yeah.
at one point, and also that it's kind of
and not get
it's a good thing also.
Yeah, not
It's
get
like,
paranoid about newspaper or everything, because
It is important to keep in mind that life is day by day, and it's not only about the future. I mean, I think that's the most important thing we learned.
Don't be afraid. One thing. Second thing, the problem is not economical, it's political. You are too attached to economy. You should think more on politics than in economy. You should know or start to think that what I told you before, your everyday acts are political. They have political consequences. Don't feel safer because of the money. This crisis could be the beginning of understanding that this is the wrong. That could be a wrong position to feel safer because of the money. Be more open, more solidary, and learn more from the rest. I mean, listen, learn, and be open.
You there, will you help me? 'Cause I need your advice. It's ahead of me what you've got behind. Crisis is coming to Europe, and I'm in a state of alarm. Please answer some questions of mine. I'm used to live in a rich society. How will it be when the crisis makes me poor? Let's ask the Argentinians who experienced this before. Do you remember state bankruptcy in 2001? Or maybe you were way too young. Were you able to buy all the products still? Life without money, how did it feel? Did you experience violence in the streets? And did you have enough to eat? How will it be, my sexual relations, after state bankruptcy? Please, Argentinians, give me advices, 'cause I'm not experienced with the crisis. Shall I take money away from the bank? Bring it home inside a trunk? Change to dollar, yen or francs? Can I place my trust in the Deutsche Bank? Will I still be able to get up late, spend time and days in coffee places? Will I be loved when I am so poor? I was never rich, and that's for sure. What will happen to my family during the state's bankruptcy? Please, Argentinians, give me advices, 'cause I'm not experienced with the crisis. Will I be celebrating less in a state of constant stress? Can I trust into the media? And what about Wikipedia? Did you become political? Having the power was critical. Did the crisis steal your chances in life? And did the paradise birds all survive? Did you stop to believe? Were there new opportunities 'cause labor went cheap? Were you blocked from activity during the state's bankruptcy? Please, Argentinians, give me advices, 'cause I have no experience with the crisis. time for depression in bed? Will I be able to feed my cat? 2001 is now 10 years away. Did your life slowly normalize? Did you perhaps win any artist prize? Will I be able to travel to Buenos Aires, coming from a state of crisis? Are you identifying with your nation's sins? Or did you leave the sinking ship? Did people show solidarity during the state's bankruptcy? Please, Argentinians, give me advice. Please, Argentinians, give me advices, 'cause I'm not experienced with the crisis. How will my sexual relations be after state bankruptcy? Thank you. We need your voices and awareness, just the same as fresh water and air.